Welcome back to Chrono Trigger for Moms. I have a guest host with me today. He's on the floor sleeping, unfortunately. I don't think my microphone would go down that low for him to say hi. Also, he's a dog, so he doesn't have a lot to say. And he also might be asleep. Obviously, my guest host today is your adorable Chewini, Rudy, who you dropped off about 7 hours ago to hang out with me while I played some Chrono Trigger tonight. And we have to find a rare red rock. We both have the Mazamune, and Melchior, who forged the sword, says he can repair it if he only had material that hasn't been around for a very, very, very long time. And this is a kind of another common feature to many RPGs, is when you get into a position like this, where the story doesn't explicitly tell you what to happen next, there's often a helper NPC like this guy, the old man at the end of time. If you ever get confused about where to go or what to do, you can always go talk to him. Dreamstone? Yes, I remember that word. It's an incredibly ancient mineral, if I recall. Have you considered searching for some in the prehistoric era? So, as it happens, we do have a door to prehistory, which is the counterpart to the door that goes to Medina Village, which is right next door to Melchior's house. If only he knew of these time portals, like if only he had some inkling that time travel was possible, and that a portal so close to his own house would take him to the prehistoric era, where presumably Dreamstone is in abundance. Of course, he also doesn't have a gate key, and he doesn't know anybody with Luca's scientific prowess. So we're going to go to Mystic Mountains, 65 billion BC. Which does, of course, raise the question of whether Christ exists in Chrono Trigger. I have to assume that if this game was made a few years later, it would use BCE and CE instead, which are more common nowadays. Those things, they're all green and scaly! This life form is most perplexingly unusual. It appears to possess both human and dinosaur traits. Well, we're going to go ahead and... I can get all of them with supersonics. Oh, this is a shadow attack. Yeah, so the icon in the top left of the screen tells you what element each attack is. So the reptites, these monsters, are weak to lightning attacks. But Chrono does not have a way to hit all of them with lightning attacks. So I'm betting... Let's just see if this will take down the whole botch and caboodle of them. Yeah, that wasn't bad. That seemed to have done the job. So we could come to this portal as soon as we reach the end of time. The Mystic Mountain portal is available to us, but there's nothing here to find. There's no story beats. There's not really anything you can do. Oh, we have a pedal. I have to keep track of pedals that we find. We're outnumbered. We're really not, because we could use that supersonic spin to destroy any arbitrary number of reptites in one single attack. Oh, it's time for our next anime cutscene. These little cutscenes were added in a later version of the game, in the PlayStation version. They're not in the original, but basically anytime a new character gets introduced, we get to see. Personally, I don't like the scenes very much. I don't think they add a whole lot to the game, and everything you see in the animated cutscene here is just going to be shown again in the in-engine graphics here in a minute. So where the bizarre, scantily dressed cave woman has leapt in and killed all of the reptites and then ran off, leaving just a few of them for us to deal with. That still happens. Who is that? Her combat capabilities far exceed those of ordinary humans. So I only have 4 to deal with. This shift in behavior corresponds to an unfavorable change in targets. Unfavorable, except we still have supersonic spin, so we're just going to go ahead and do that again. That is kind of a bummer on Robo's MPs. He is taking pretty severe losses in his MP, but we only have to fight a few of these monsters. Alright. So in addition to experience and TP, we're also getting petals, and there are other objects that will drop off of monsters in this era that are going to be important here in just a little while. What are you? This female is in a severely agitated state. Provocation is inadvisable. Is she trying to pick a fight? Not a fight, exactly, Luca. You strong. What name? Chrono name, good name. Me name, me. So this is Ayla. Ayla is our cave woman character. Me Ayla. Ayla like strong man, so Ayla like Chrono. Looks like somebody's got a new friend. You strong too. Ayla like strong person. Man, woman, both like. I'm not... Yes? You strange person, but strong too. That is because I am a robot. Robot? What robot? Ayla not no robot. A robot is a humanoid machine constructed by humans. What you say? No say word Ayla not know. Ayla head go boom! I'm having just a delectable time doing Ayla's voice. Chrono, where from? An explanation cannot be formulated within the bounds of her understanding. So just because she's a cave woman, Robo assumes that she's too dumb to understand time travel, which, I mean, she also doesn't understand pronouns, so perhaps he has a point. We're from way after the day after tomorrow. Haha, you funny. Ayla like funny person. It's no use. You come village, talk and eat, dance, drink, fun! We'd love to go, but we're looking for some dreamstone right now. Stone? Stone everywhere! Here, there, village. Ayla give you many, many stone. Ioka village this way. Follow Ayla. Alright. There are a couple treasures to grab here on the way out. Oh, I did miss a treasure in the Denadoro Mountains, as has been pointed out to me now by several of the peoples. There is a relatively important treasure in Denadoro Mountains that I didn't pick up, and I guess time will tell if I'm going to go back for it or not. Come on, Robo, I just need you to get your turn here, buddy. Nope, supersonic spin. This has been doing some good work for us. I think we'll stick with it for now. Most excellent. Did we get any goodies? We got a horn. Obtained horn. So now we have 2 petals and 1 horn, if I'm keeping track of this in my head properly. There's just no getting past these guys, so we'll just sword them. I got another Berserker ring. I'm kind of wondering if I should put it on Robo. Another petal. Oh, it's a Rage Band he has, not a Berserker. So what does the Berserker ring do? Oh, we have 2 of those. Okay, cannot control wearer. That's right, it berserks them. For some reason I was thinking it was a counterattack accessory that Chrono had, because I would like another one of those if I can get one. We will just let the monkey people continue to worship their rock god. And here we are in prehistory, 65 million years BC. I guess this is the continent of Pangaea. There's a nice, funky-looking lava lake in the center of the world, which is dominated by rocky spires and plateaus and large, lush jungles. But Ayla wanted us to come to Ioka Village. No finish yet. More waits. Oh, I guess she's going to be in her hut. So you can visit Mystic Mountains early in the game and come here if you want and check it out. And, you strange, have good stuff? No, chief say no okay. No can trade. Okay, they're not going to sell us anything until we've cleared it with the chief first. So you can come explore this era early in the game if you want. There's just not much to do. I think you can even actually come in here and meet Ayla early, but she doesn't do anything for you yet. Good. Chrono come. Night soon. Finish ready for party. Chrono this way. You got it, Cupcake. Listen, Ayla. We make new friend. Strongman Chrono. Ooh, he's a strongman. Chrono Fend. Robo. Luca. Ooga. Oh, lovely. Now, dance Bobonga. Oh, yeah, we're going to dance the Bobonga. Absolutely dance the Bobonga. I can't wait. Chrono, eat, drink, dance, sing. Is that what these guys are doing? Are they singing? Ooga booga, Munga meeple, dance with wind people. Ooga booga, Munga meeple, dance with mountain people. Are you a wind people or a mountain people? Oh, it's Kino. You not Ioka person. Why Ayla give party? Strange. So Kino is upset that Ayla has thrown us a party. Maybe he just doesn't like outsiders. Oh, should I or shouldn't I? Is this the most appropriate use of our time in the current situation? So Robo is from a future where they don't have parties, so he does not understand the purpose of Munga Munga Mountain people. So this is a situation where we're kind of stuck on this screen, partying with the wind people and the mountain people. We have to hit a couple of plot flags. What that means is these NPCs will have triggers when we talk to them, and once we've talked to enough of them in the correct order, it's meant to kind of simulate actually schmoozing at a party, I suppose. It's kind of a social event rather than a combat challenge or something. This fluid contains immeasurable impurities. Is Robo drinking it? Hick. Oh, Luca. Luca is getting crunk. Chrono try drink? This only special time drink. Good drink, named Skull Smash. Next day, Skull feel like smash. Ioka village fight Reptite. Leader named Azala. Azala very smart. All in Ioka village fight. No person go Laruba village. Always run from Reptite. Always hide. Not know where village. Azala want destroy Ioka, Laruba, both. But Ayla no lose. Only when Ayla dead stop fight. No more talk that. Today meet Chrono. Good day. Eat, drink, dance, sing. So what Ayla's saying here, in her own peculiar way, is there's another village of people, unspecified whether they're the wind people or the mountain people, but they're the Laruba village, which doesn't fight the Reptites. They live in a hidden village that nobody can find it. A society of cowards. Chrono, you've got to try some of this. Okay. Oh, Luca's been hitting the Skull Smash pretty hard. What's that? You a man or a mouse? Drink it in one gulp. Yeah, sure. That's a lot of Skull Smash. I'm trying to, like, imagine a bowl that size with basically any alcohol in it. Oh, Luca, your skull's going to feel like Smash tomorrow. This fluid contains... Oh, we've already seen that. So now we've kind of gone through everything that our companions are going to say. We'll just check and see if Kino's got anything new for us. No, he's still kind of being a bummer. Being a wet blanket down there. He's not enjoying the party. Chrono, red rock look for. This rock? Rare red rock. Have rock means strong person. Ayla most strong Ioka village. So Ayla rock. I have to agree with her. I also think Ayla rocks. Chrono wants. Chrono challenge Ayla. Win, Ayla give. Chrono challenge Ayla? So what we're going to do here is, it's not a fighting challenge. Ayla would absolutely beat our ass at any fighting challenge there is, but it's a drinking challenge. And all I have to do to win the challenge is push the button on the controller a lot of times in a row. Faster than she can. Ayla go get more Skull Smash. Party now, so drink. Chrono and Ayla have battle. Who drink more? We start now. Mash A many time. So you'll be able to count how many Skull Smashes Ayla drinks versus how many Chrono drinks, and you'll probably hear me feverishly mashing the button. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do I have a mountain person or a wind person filling up my Skull Smash? But yeah, imagine these are like shots of tequila or something. Except instead of a shot of tequila, you have to drink an entire bowl of this stuff. No more, Chrono. Ayla lose. Give rock. Chrono, drink good. Drink one more. To strong, Chrono. Pour. Maybe too much drink. So, Nintendo, in the 1990s, well, going all the way back to the 1980s, they had a stranglehold over what kind of content was allowed in their video games that got released on their platforms and what weren't. So in 1995, there were a lot of video games coming out that had adult themes and content, like getting absolutely blotto at a party and waking up with a hangover the next day, but you wouldn't find them on Nintendo consoles. So what would happen is they would change things in the localization. So in this version of the localization, it's Skull Smash. They describe it as being liquor and you get mad crazy drunk. But in the Super Nintendo version, you weren't allowed to have alcohol references. So they changed it to just soup. So Chrono and Ayla just knocked back just bowls and bowls of some kind of soup. Very thin veneer of puritanism that Nintendo wanted to do in the 90s. Good morning. It appears that liquid induces peculiar behavior in humans. Yeah, you said it, buddy. Ugh, my head. I did what last night? Liar. Ugh, why does my head hurt like this? I think if you have Marl in this scene, she gets defensive and she says something like, no, I was a perfect lady last night, even though she was also hitting the Skull Smash. Where did these footprints come from? It's gone! The gate key's gone! The thief must have left these prints. Without the key, we're stuck here forever. This is bad. We have to go see Ayla. So she's still sleeping it off. Ugh. Oh, Chrono early awake. Ugh. Ugh, too much Skull Smash. Sorry to wake you, but someone stole something important from us while we were asleep. What? Stole? Must be Reptite. Chrono, go with Ayla. We find bad Reptite. Who else come? So, we're about to do Ayla's little introductory adventure. Every character in the game kind of has an introductory adventure when they first join the party, like where you have to take Frog into the cathedral. Well, at that point, you only have 3 characters, it doesn't matter, but you have to take Robo into the factory, and even though we don't have the gate key, it's going to let us swap out other party members. And unfortunately for Luca, her fire magic is just not going to be very useful to us in the upcoming scenes. It's going to be much better to have Robo along. Maybe village persons see. We go ask. Chrono come. Hick. Alright, let's talk about Ayla a little bit. So let's see. Chrono's strength is 29. And Robo's is 31. He's a robot. He's pretty strong. Ayla's is 39. So you'll notice right away, you have little elemental icons. Luca's fire, Marl's water, Chrono's light. And Robo doesn't have one because he's a robot. Ayla also doesn't have one. And later on, we're going to learn it's because she was born before magic was discovered. People in this era don't have magic. Humanity would eventually go on to find the 4 elements of magic and use them to cast spells and things, but Ayla doesn't have that ability. Instead, she has this fist, and I think it's implied that Ayla is the strongest human being to ever live, ever. Oh, this strength... She does not need +4 strength. I'm going to... I think we're going to give her this Power Glove. Because the problem is, once we complete this adventure, Ayla won't stay with us for the next adventure. She's going to stay here in prehistory. But we're going to take that scarf off of her and give it to Chrono? No, I want him to counterattack. When I want him to have the speed. You know what? I don't think anybody can make use of that scarf the way Ayla can. But yeah, you can see their character's attack power. She has doesn't have a weapon, and she can never equip weapons. She only ever uses her fist. But the little sword icon shows attack power. Chrono is 55. He's one of the strongest characters in the game. Robo's 58. He's a little better than Chrono at just attacking, but he's a lot slower. Ayla not only has a 76 attack power, but also a 13 speed, which means she's faster than Chrono and stronger in attacking monsters by about 20 points. Suffice it to say, Ayla is one of my favorite characters in the game. I think I might have said that about every character except Marl at this point. But she's going to be a mainstay in the party. She also has a healing ability. She can kiss people to heal them. She's a very provocative and flirtatious character, which we will also use to our advantage as we go forward. The first thing we have to do, though, is check my inventory here. Key items. We have 3 petals and 1 horn. I need 3 petals, 6 horns, 6 fangs, and 9 feathers. And if we go up this way to the hunting range, we'll save here. It's a good spot to save. Footprints, follow! We will follow the footprints, but first we're going to do a little bit of hunting in the hunting range. And this is a good time to talk about grinding in JRPGs. Grinding is any time you do just a repetitive task over and over again, just to gain some goal, just to gain some advantage, or advance somehow in the game. For example, if you just fight a bunch of monsters in a row to gain experience points, 2 fangs, 2 horns, and 2 feathers. We should be getting all this stuff pretty quick as we go through. If you're not actually advancing a story in some way or doing some other task, you're just fighting monsters to gain some kind of resource, you're grinding. And what we're grinding for here are petals, fangs, horns, and feathers, so we can trade them in Ioka Village for new equipment. I think they do have a store that uses money, but 2 feathers, 2 petals. What they really like are the petals and fangs and things. There's another reason we want to fight monsters in this area, though, as will probably happen in another minute or so here, as you'll see once... Ooh, there's a frog. You kind of feel bad fighting a bunch of frogs in this game, because you eventually do have a frog who joins your party, and he's a pretty nice guy. So, I opened up this series, Chrono Trigger for Moms, using a comparison to what I thought would be a kind of well-known... Oh, it's raining. When it's raining, we need to find... There's a rare monster that only shows up when... Oh, there he is! I can't get up there in time, though. Yeah, see, I can climb up here, but by the time I get back down, he's going to be gone. So the comparison that I use is I compared Chrono Trigger to the Beatles album Abbey Road, which I want to say was 1968. I think. Maybe it was 70. Maybe it was it wasn't their last album. But anyway, it's a Beatles album that is extremely famous, and I thought a lot of good comparisons could be drawn to Chrono Trigger, but... Well, my dear lady mother understood the comparison. At least one of my viewers didn't. I got a comment on one of my videos asking, what is the Beatles' Abbey Road? Now, I'm assuming that that commenter might just be trolling, like he might just be putting me on a little bit, because... Oh, it's raining again. Is your boy going to be... We're in the same spot we were last time it started raining. Is your boy going to be up top? He is. I'm not going to get up there in time, though. Keep raining. He's gone. But I think the commenter might have been just trolling a little bit, just like asking a question to be like, I'll ask the silly question, like, who are the Beatles? And the reason I think that is because the commenter spelled Beatles correctly. Which, if you're not familiar with the band The Beatles... I don't think you would. Like, if you just hear somebody say, oh, I like a band, they're called the Beatles, you'd think, insects? What? Which is not how the band spells its name. They spell it with an A, for whatever reason. So, however, I do feel it's a valid question. There's probably lots of Zoomers watching my videos. I I like to think in my mind's eye that most of my viewers are like around my age, but I have to realize like I'm pushing 40 now, so it's probably not realistic. It's entirely possible. Where's he at? He's not up on top there this time because we were there and he wasn't around. Oh. There's like 4 places in this map where that creature shows up. But you gotta catch him when he's raining, and the rain doesn't last long enough to cover the entirety of the map, unfortunately. Like, this is another spot over here. I think you can find him when it's raining. So, I'm just gonna answer the question. What is the Beatles' Abbey Road? Well, the Beatles were a band in the 1960s who might be the most famous and influential, like, pop rock group of that era. Surely. And part of why they have this kind of legendary status is because the group broke up in the early 70s after making like 8 or 10 albums. Half of the time they weren't even touring. They were just doing studio albums. And Abbey Road is one of their final studio albums. Abbey Road, I think it's 68, and then their last album was Let It Be a couple years later, and then by the early 70s they were broken up. Okay, we're going to find them this time. We're going to get up there. Okay, he's not in the corner. Is he up here? Here he is! So this guy, this is a new, and he's got 2 attacks. One always leaves you with 1 hit points, and the other always just does damage. So all we need to do is make sure that nobody has 1 hit point at any point. And this should be very easy because both Ayla and Robo can cure people. So I'm just going to actually sit on Robo's turn until he makes another attack. And then make the cure beams fly. Yeah, there we go. So the reason I compared the Beatles' Abbey Road, which by the way, I think everybody should listen to, it is on YouTube. There's an official version of it on like the official Beatles YouTube channel. You can listen to the whole thing. And it's a fantastic album. It's definitely the Beatles album that I'm most familiar with. Ooh, why do we want to fight this guy? Because he gives us 30 tech points. Ooh, Ayla learned Kiss. You strong. Here, take. So we got 3 each of petals, fangs, horns, and feathers. Is that everything we need? We have... Oh, yeah, that's everything we need. Nice. You're very strong. Take this, too. Obtained 3rd eye. Ooh, what is that? I don't remember what that does. Got all kinds of stuff. Doubles evasion. Okay, so it makes it easier. The higher your evasion is, when enemies attack you, you might dodge the attack. Not super important, considering we're going to have a bunch of healing anyway. But I used Abbey Road specifically, and not just any Beatles album, because it's very late in their discography. And Chrono Trigger was very late in this era of JRPGs made by Squaresoft. It's one of the best albums, and it's extremely influential. Just like Chrono Trigger is. I need to... Oh, you come see me. What you have? Fang, petal, horn, feather. Give me 6. 3 each, 2 kind. I give you good, strong thing. What you give me? Okay. So I need to trade him 3 petals. And 3 feathers. And that gets a stone arm. Yes. Still want trade? Sure do. Now I want to give you 3 fangs. And 3 horns. Trade for mammoth tusk. Yes. Got a mammoth tusk. Yes, I still want trade. Okay, I need to trade him 3 fangs. And 3 feathers. For a ruby vest. This is an incredibly important item. I think Ayla actually has one already. She comes equipped with one. Still want trade? Yes. Now 3 horns. And 3 feathers. For a stone helm. Alright, that's everything we need to trade for. So, I'm going to do this now because I won't remember to later, because she already has a stone helm and a ruby vest, both of which are very good. Ruby vest halves fire damage. That's going to be important. So yeah, we're going to steal that. You can just have this golden suit, and I'm going to give you an iron helm. I'm doing this now so when Ayla leaves the party in a little bit, she won't take that important stuff with her. So I want to take this... You know, I'm going to take the power scarf too. I mean, Ayla joined the party already practically naked. She's not going to complain if we start taking all of her equipment off. But stone helm, ruby vests, stone helm, ruby vests. So the stuff we took from Ayla isn't going to go to waste. We're just moving it to a different character for now. Alright, is there just a regular shop in here? Trade your shiny stone? Yes, but it's only potions and things, none of which I need. I do need to find a place to sleep here. To regain our hit points and whatever. Chief, take this. Just 4 free potions? Nice. Reptite leave footprint when run. Follow print, find lair. Oh, we will. Drink happy water? Drink feel good. Here we go. Ah, had some happy water. Delicious prehistoric happy water. Alright. Nice. Heading into the forest maze, and then I'll get back to the Beatles explanation, I think. Kino, what you do? Say now! Kino, sorry, Ayla. Kino take Chrono stuff. Technically, it's Luca's stuff, but I guess... Why take? I guess it's just all our communal stuff. It's all packed away in Robo's backpack. Kino like Ayla best. Ayla say like Chrono. Kino mad. Madam Ayla, violence is never the best solution, says the robot who punches people with lasers. Kino know why Ayla hits? Ayla no like Kino. No, Ayla like Kino best, so Ayla no want Kino do bad thing. Bad thing, not good. That's a philosophical quandary to ponder in this prehistoric era. I feel like that could be in a fortune cookie. Bad thing, not good. Ayla. Kino sorry, Ayla. Kino sorry, Chrono. Give thing back, Chrono. No have. Reptites take. Reptite! Where Reptite go? Run trees, there. Ayla go. Kino go back village. Ayla gone. Kino protect Yuka. Okay, Ayla. Kino man. Ayla die. Ayla have baby. Then Kino chief. Madam Ayla, my apologies for implying you may have been out of control. Follow Reptite. Get Chrono thing. I think Robo is just... I think that was him giving Ayla his approval of domestic violence. Is that what's happening here? So we're going through the forest maze. I actually love the graphical effect of this place. It's just, again, you get a great sense of place in this game where you have the jungle, and they even have this shadowy layer over top to show the jungle canopy, the trees that are so far overhead you can't see them on screen. To help kind of give this place a maze-like feel, in addition to just the twisting passages and the multiple levels of elevation that are in use, how we're going to climb up and down the plateaus as we go, but also just confusing in the sense of, it's like not only are there light areas and dark areas, but when your character walks into a dark area, they actually are in shadow. That's a very impressive graphical feat that not a lot of games of this era would do. But Chrono Trigger goes the extra mile. I just want to make sure that I get the chests as I go forward. If I miss another chest, somebody might yell at me again in my comments. If we follow the footprints, we'll find the Reptite lair, so that must mean if we don't follow the footprints, we will find all of the treasure boxes. Is that how it's going to work? So there is... I was thinking about it, the Beatles Abbey Road. Because in music, that's an album that influenced just decades of musicians to come, just the way Chrono Trigger did with game developers. But I was thinking about it, and there's another quality that Abbey Road possesses that I actually didn't really think about. Oh, Ayla learned Roundello Kick, which means we get some dual techs, Spin Kick and Drill Kick. Those will all be fun. So, okay, there is a lot of just bizarre pseudoscience in like the music hardware industry. There are people that make speakers and cables and devices on which to play music that they insist give like a superior listening experience to music. And some of it's correct. You're going to get a better sound out of good speakers than you would out of just, crappy dollar store speakers. That's just part of it. But some of this stuff is like, there are people that sell cables for $10,000 that you plug into your audio equipment that's supposed to make the music sound so much better. But weirdly enough, in double-blind studies, people are never able to actually demonstrate they can tell the difference between like the superior diamond-studded super cables and just regular audio cables like that you get in a high-end music store. But there's a lot of pseudoscience around it because people who are really, really into music and into the listening experience of music want to believe that their stuff is better. And one of the debates that endlessly rages on this subject is whether it's better to listen to music on an analog device, like a turntable, where you have a physical vinyl object that's spinning under a needle, versus listening to a digital device, like a phone plugged into your headphones or into a set of speakers, or just listening off of a computer or a CD player or something. People will endlessly claim that listening to music on an analog device like a turntable gives music a different quality that is superior to the same song being listened to on a digital device. Obviously, it does give a different quality because listening to music on a physical object is going to introduce certain kinds of artifacting and sound that you would not get on a digital device. Whether this offers a superior experience or not, I think that's subjective. Obviously, I have my opinion. I would much rather hear a version of a song without any artifacting, without any cracking or popping introduced by an analog device, if possible. So I listen to all my music digitally. Usually when I listen to music, I queue up like a YouTube playlist or something. It's actually very rare that I use a CD, and almost never on my phone. My phone is filled with audiobooks instead of music. But, and this is what I didn't consider until very recently, a couple years ago. So, the Beatles' Abbey Road originally came out in the 1960s, so originally, obviously, it's on a vinyl record. And back in those days, records had two sides. The music was on both sides of the record, so you listen to half of the album, and then you literally flip it over so you could listen to the other half. So there's an A side and a B side. Is this the end of the... No, it's just a box. Nice. So typically a band would put, like, whatever the spotlight song of the album, the headlining song, would go on the A side. This box is underneath me. I gotta go down and around, it looks like. And then the B side would be the band's, like, experimental stuff. Stuff that they were, like, trying out or that they wanted to put out there, but wouldn't necessarily, like, get butts into seats when it comes to selling out concerts and things. And this is actually one of the qualities that Abbey Road has that other Beatles albums don't, is it's not a very experimental album. It's not doing anything unique. It's not, like, stretching the boundaries of what the band could do. The band has a lot of that. Several Beatles albums are very experimental. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Heart Club Band and the White Album for sure has some really bizarre stuff on it. Like Abbey Road, I think the most out there experimental song is probably Because. And that's, if you don't know the song, you're gonna have to look it up on YouTube. I can't sing Beatles music. I will get demonetized on the channel, so that's just out of the cards. But Chrono Trigger is the same way. By this point, like, Chrono Trigger is not that experimental of game. It's a pretty by-the-numbers RPG when compared to some of the other stuff that Squaresoft was doing around the time. Like, they had stuff like Secret of Mana and eventually Trials of Mana, which were playing around with being action games and RPGs at the same time. They had the Final Fantasy games. All three Final Fantasy games for the Super Nintendo. I want to save before I go in here. Were very experimental. Tried out either trying new things in the genre or expanding on things that hadn't been done before. Chrono Trigger is a very basic, you get a couple of characters, each character only gets a couple of special moves. You have this dual tech system, but this isn't anything really groundbreaking. It's basically just giving you options, more powerful attacks. Almost everything you can do in Chrono Trigger as far as character advancement is get new ways to attack monsters. Ayla has one of the few utility moves we'll get. I think it's must be her 4th tech, because it looks like she's looking for cat attack next. And then Marl and Luca both get a couple of techs to just buff people. Like we're getting protect here in a little while just to boost defense. But there's nothing really out of the ordinary here. The main experimental things about Chrono Trigger are, I need to make sure I know where I'm going here. These guys are going to make holes that I can jump in. What I'm looking for first are sparklies on the ground in here. Are there any? I don't see any. Well, let's jump in a hole then. But yeah, by this point, Squaresoft is like, alright, this is probably like the last major RPG we're going to make on the Super Nintendo. I don't think that was literally the case. I think like Super Mario RPG came out a year after this one. But yeah, you can see, like, let's just put everything we know about how to make a great RPG and just make a great RPG and not worry so much about stretching the boundaries. We can do things that are cinematic, like we can have these battle scenes where you don't leave the main map, you just jump right into the battle. That's a really cool effect, but it's nothing groundbreaking as far as gameplay is concerned. And I kind of feel like Abbey Road is the same way, like the Beatles. You know, let's not, like, bust out the sitar or anything for this album. Let's just do some bangers. So it's another comparison between the two forms. And then just like, oh, I think I need to hit this guy with lightning, don't I? Yes, okay. We're not doing any damage to him. But if we hit him with lightning first, defense lowered by electric shock. And then we send Ayla in with a critical hit for 460 damage. So the biggest banger on Abbey Road, the entire B-side of the album is, instead of being a sequence of songs, it's just a long medley. A bunch of songs just right in a row. Oh, this is where all the treasures are, in this part of the cave. Just looking for shinies here. I do think I've got to go around again, because I do think there are treasures to get from the first room. But let's just get these guys here. Yeah, if we put both Ayla and Robo on this nerd, I think we got him. So, as a kid, the version of Abbey Road that I heard was a CD that you guys owned. And listened to it, I don't know, 1,000 times, maybe. To the point where even as a kid, like, I knew all the songs really well. But the B-side of an album on a CD, it's a medley, but it still is a medley of songs. So on a CD, they're still broken up into individual tracks. And on the CD, there's like a second of silence in between tracks as the CD player loads up the next track. Oh, the reason I didn't need an extra stone helm, in case you were imagining, like, couldn't you buy more stone helms? Yes, I could have gotten more, but I know that I picked one up in this dungeon. So now, when I leave this area and I've got a third character in my party again, for the next sequence, I've got a stone helm to give them, which is nice. So yeah, for Abbey Road, for years, you hear this little bit of silence during the medley. Just a split second or so, just as the tracks changed over. And so it's so you can select the tracks. I don't know if the album ever, I imagine it did come out on cassette tape at some point, and there were devices towards, I think, the mid and late 80s, where a cassette could automatically scan for the part of the cassette that has a song. Like, there are cassette players that can do that. I never owned one. I never had a fancy cassette player like that growing up. But that's how old I am. I had a friggin' cassette player when I was a kid. But that's the version of Abbey Road that I heard. So, in 2009, they released a video game for the Xbox 360 called The Beatles Rock Band. Rock Band was the music game that I liked, the music rhythm game. The one that I played was Rock Band 2. I played 1 million hours of it, but the Beatles version of it, we're just gonna supersonic spin all of y'all. But the Beatles version of it was the first time that I had heard the entire medley all the way through. It's 16 minutes long, and you can play it all through as one song with no breaks. And it didn't occur to me until then that, yeah, that's how it would have sounded on an album back in the day, back when you could listen to it on vinyl. So, there's been a resurgence in vinyl the past few years especially. I think we're going to have to go around again in this dungeon to make sure that I get all the goodies. Can this winged ape, can we hurt him, I wonder? We'll find out. Oh, he's going to throw his mushroom man at us. Well, that's just not friendly. And he's counterattacking us. So we better, I think the winged ape we want to hit with a big deal attack. Let's go with spin kick. Yeah, something like that with 500 damage. Difficult to tell what actually happened because both of them are kind of crammed up at the top of the screen there. But yeah, vinyl is making kind of a resurgence, in part because there is a major community that insists it's better to listen to music on vinyl, which I still don't believe it's true. I think people are just nostalgic for vinyl. But in this one instance, in this one case, it actually is better to listen to Abbey Road on vinyl because you can hear the whole medley without those little breaks to it. So, one year for Christmas, when we bought my stepfather a turntable, and the first album that we got him as a gift was, of course, Abbey Road. And Christmas Day, we got to listen to Abbey Road, and it's wonderful. And of course, that version of the medley is on YouTube. If you go on YouTube and look up Abbey Road, like B-side medley or something, you'll find it. It's 16 minutes long, and you can listen to it without the little breaks for the CD. I do realize how absurd it sounds that, like, I didn't have a major appreciation for. I think we wanted the people to dig like up in this corner up here, like top right corner. What about you? Are you digging in the right spot? Let's find out. Even having listened to the Beatles like a lot as a kid, I never had a personal appreciation for the band until they made a video game about them. I realize how silly that sounds. This spin kick is something that I never get to use. It's always grayed out, and I think it's because of how... Oh, not spin kick. Which one is it? No, Chrono and Ayla have a double attack that is hard to pick because it requires their positioning. I'm not really sure which one. Maybe we don't have it yet. I can't remember what it's called now. But yeah, there's one they can only use if their positioning is correct in battle, and you can't actually change their positioning at all. The characters just kind of stand wherever they want to. Which makes moves that rely on positioning kind of difficult to use properly. Maybe I do want to get another ruby vest when I leave here. Because I thought I got a second one in here. Maybe I do need to buy... Oh, see, there's a box over there. Oh, there's a box in here, too. There it is. Okay, so yeah, I do get a second ruby vest. So just need to buy one, that's all. I'm going to keep on keeping on with Supersonic Spin and then have Ayla kill the flower. Now, the big difference between Chrono Trigger and Abbey Road, there's an extremely important difference between the two. One of the ways, I mean, there's lots of ways they're not alike. For example, Chrono Trigger has better graphics. I'm sorry, it just does. And better battle music. I don't think there's anything on Abbey Road you could consider to be battle music the way that Chrono Trigger has. But so the Beatles released Abbey Road, and then a year or two later they released Let It Be, which would be their final album. They broke up in the early 70s, and then I want spin kick. Yeah. And then in 1980, the band leader, kind of joint band leaders were John Lennon and Paul McCartney. But John Lennon was murdered. He was shot by a crazy stalker man. So the Beatles never had a reunion the way a lot of other bands from that era did. Even though the other three members of the band went on to have long and storied musical careers, particularly Paul McCartney. But there was never, ever going to be a Beatles reunion tour the way that, like, the Rolling Stones continue to tour, or anybody, really, like all of the major bands from that era. So there is kind of a mystique to the Beatles. Like, they were a singular point in time. They had a particular sound. They kicked ass for 10 years, and then that was it. The band broke up, and before any thought of, hey, let's get back together for like a reunion album or anything, John Lennon had been murdered, so that's it. There's never going to be more Beatles stuff. Whereas Squaresoft obviously didn't go out of business after Chrono Trigger. They are the big men on campus when it comes to making JRPGs. They are still... Oh, I didn't want to spin kick that big guy, did I? I thought I was fighting the wrong monster, and I used lightning on the wrong guy. We want to spin kick this guy. So, one of the good things about, like, if a band would be able to continue on is there's always the possibility they can make more music, they can continue to go on tour and play their old music. This isn't always a good thing. Like, I think a lot of people my age, when they think of the Grateful Dead or the Rolling Stones, like, they don't think of their glory days of making great music. They think of, like, like, sad old men on tour 40 years after their heyday, like, really trying to rock on stage, but having a difficult time because they're in their 60s now. Like, that's what I think of when I think of the Rolling Stones, or, like, any of those bands. But the Beatles always have that mystique. Even though Paul McCartney did go on to have a great career, and so did the other guys, their entity as the Beatles was only that singular moment in time. What in the world? Could those filthy apes have crafted something this advanced? Azala! And so the hairless apes arrive with their bizarre metal man. Ah, and these new ones appear cut from a finer cloth than Ayla. Robo's not made of cloth, and is not wearing clothes. So actually, Robo is more naked than Ayla is, which is a feat. Perfect. This should make things easier. Tell me, apes, what is the purpose of this device? Tell Azala about the gatekeep. This is a but thou must situation. I explained what a but thou must was in an earlier video, but basically, it doesn't matter what you say to Azala here. The game advances to the next boss fight. Anyway, if you say no, Azala's like, I'm going to stick my monster on you and force you to talk. And if you say yes, Azala's like, I don't believe you, I'm going to stick my monster on you and force you to talk. So it really doesn't matter what you pick. Lies! Do you take me for a fool? No one would talk so easily if that were true. But perhaps this might loosen your tongues. Come, Nisbel! Here comes Nisbel, shaking the cave walls with every step. So Nisbel is a reptite, which means we want to hit Nisbel with lightning, and then eventually Nisbel will discharge the lightning, which is bad news for me, because that's going to do a lot of damage. So defense is lowered. Whose turn do I want to keep? I think I want to keep Robo's turn. So we're going with Drill Kick. Yeah. And that way we can go in with Robo's turn. We'll just have him Robo Tackle. Actually, we're going to need both Robo and Ayla to heal when the time comes. But I think Drill Kick is better anyway. And then once he discharges electricity and damages us, Ayla can Kiss and Robo can Healing Beam, and it'll just be rad. So there's the electric discharge. Oh, that's pretty painful looking. Alright, so let's have Ayla kiss herself, and Robo can Cure Beam himself. You know what? I'm just going to use a potion here. He's got 124. I want it to be above 200. Let's use a high potion. And then just get right back to work. So the counterattack's not doing terrific work for us here because he's got his super high Reptite defense. We can spin kick once the lightning comes out. Ooh, Ayla needs a top off. Oh, that's such good damage. Let's do that again. Oh no, one of them needs to heal. You need to heal. So I guess we're drill kicking. Turn Ayla into a sky drill. There's the discharge. So let's kiss. Ayla should be. No, everybody needs big heal. So okay, we're going to mid potion Chrono. Ayla kisses the robot. Ayla's gonna have to kiss herself, and then we should be back in the game. Cool. Throw some lightning out. Ayla and Robo can double tech. This guy should not be long for this world at this point. Yeah, do spin kick. Do a cleave. I think it's better to do a drill kick than a spin kick, because this combines Chrono and Ayla's attack power, which is a little lower than Ayla and Robo's, but it frees up Robo's turn to do Robo... Well, he can't now, but it does free up his turn to do Robo Tackle. Also, Robo is slower than Ayla and Chrono, so their turns come around more often. I'm going to heal Ayla one more time. I do not like sitting on less than 200. Actually, we'll give them both a heal. Another one. Let's just do it upright. Good. I think by the next time we get to like a major boss in this game, we should have abilities that can heal the whole party at once. Yeah, drill kick, robo tackle. That's what we want to do. Beautiful. So ends Nizbel. I hope he does not have a much stronger brother that we meet later. That would just be... that'd be regrettable. The apes beat Nizbel. Give thing back Chrono now. Very well. You've won today, but know that we Reptites are the rulers of this world. We'll not surrender it to you filthy apes. So, this is a good line, actually, because we know the Reptites don't exist. Something must happen between this point in time, where the Reptites are this hyper-advanced species that rule the world, whereas the filthy, hairless apes are struggling in their jungle villages, versus any other time period we've been to, where humanity is the main player in the world. So what happens to Azala and the Reptites? No damage detected. The gate key appears operational. Azala, come anytime. Ayla, no. Oh, she threw up all over Robo's feet. That's... Chrono leave? No Chrona. Ayla no fun. Thanks, Ayla. I learned a lot from you. Sorry, Chrono. Kino try be strong now. Even more strong, Chrono. Now without a sword, buddy. And I don't think you guys are going to invent metallurgy at any point in the next 60 million years. Come again, Chrono. Have party. Drink. Eat. Dance. Fight. Fun. Alright. So that's our introduction to Ayla. And she really wants to drink, eat, dance, fight, and fun. So it is kind of the part of the game is you get introduced to a new party member. They go on a little adventure with you. Then they typically leave the party for a little while until you come back to their time period for the second time. Even Luca and Marl kind of do that, because Marl and Luca both join the party when you first... Well, Marl joins us when you first meet her, but then she leaves the party almost immediately because she gets sucked through a time gate. Then Luca and Frog go with you on your first dungeon, and they both leave the party after their first adventure. And this is also pretty common in JRPGs, how a character will be introduced, just enough to kind of get an idea of who they are and what they can do, and go on a little adventure that is kind of typical for their character, something important to them. And then one of two things will happen. Either, like Robo, they'll just kind of fade into the background of the party and not be important anymore, although they're still around for any time you want to take them out. Or they'll leave the party until the point in the story where they want to join you permanently. Right now, Ayla has no reason to go back to the time portal with us. There's no reason for her to do that. From her perspective, we got the thing back that was stolen. We've agreed to come back and, drink with her again on some future occasion. That's good enough for her. Jump down. Jump into the time gates. Back we go. Excellent. Get our HP and MP restored, and now go to Medina Village. So what happens if the band doesn't break up? What happens if the company that makes the best RPG of all time continues to make RPGs? Well, they made a few more good RPGs. They're still making great RPGs to this day. But there was a sequel to Chrono Trigger. It's called Chrono Cross, and it's very divisive. I'm going to kind of go into detail later on in this Let's Play why I think that, but dear me, you truly found Dreamstone. Yes, that will do quite nicely. With that, I can make the blade whole again. But first the Masamune, and now this Dreamstone. How in the world did you... No, I suppose it does not matter. Make yourselves at home. This will take some time. Oh, I think they're going to play Corridors of Time again. I think we get to hear Corridors of Time here. I'll lend you a hand. Ah, Corridors of Time. I love it. How are you going to fix it? Do not interrupt me while I'm trying to Oh, sorry, Melchire. I'll just hang out back here then. I think if you bring Marl instead of Luca, Robo helps Melchire. Marl never helps him. Of course, the Dreamstone must be refined if we are to repair the Masamune. But that's not all. The blade itself must be activated as well. You work on the Dreamstone, I will take care of the sword. Okay, fear not. The great Luca knows her way around a workshop. I'd actually love to hear the Beatles play Corridors of Time. That'd be a great concert. So the first thing Luca did was make coffee, apparently. Like, she's not doing anything without caffeine. Alright, it's done. Could you bring me the Dreamstone? I'm done here too. Alright, let's get started. Not really sure what they're doing. They look like they're just kind of dancing at the stone and the sword. I wonder if he's got Corridors of Time playing on his radio that's sitting there on the counter. Oh, no more Corridors of Time. It's behind us now. Sorry to keep you waiting. Behold, the Masamune in all its glory. How peculiar. My sensors are detecting pulses of mental energy emanating from the Masamune. If you were expecting lesser work, you shouldn't have come to me. Chrono, let us take the Masamune to Frog. And that's it. We now have the Masamune. Did I not equip my new... I didn't, did I? I never... Oh my goodness. I never equipped the Mammoth Tusk or the Stone Arm. I bought new weapons and didn't give them to my guys, to my boys, to my posse. And so, let's head back in the cupboard here. Our adventures in prehistory behind us. One pair of portals remains somewhere out there in the time stream. Just a good habit to get into to restore your HP and MP every time you come back. Take me with you. Nope. Ah, come on. Go ahead and drop the save here, and we pick it up next week. The Masamune. We will return it to Frog, and we'll see if we can destroy Magus, the creator of Lavos, the destroyer of the planet.